Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are so excited to be cracking open a truly landmark book, Daniel Kahneman's Thinking, Fast and Slow.
Yeah, and our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. We want to unpack this core idea that your mind basically has two main characters running the show.
Two characters. Okay, so let's call them System 1 and System 2.
Exactly.
So let's start with System 1. What is that exactly?
System 1 is the hero of the book, really. It's your gut. It operates automatically, super fast, with, like, zero effort.
Okay, so give me an example. Like, if you see a picture of an angry face.
That's it. You don't decide to see anger, you just see it. Or you hear a loud, sudden noise and you jump. That's System 1.
Right. Or when you complete the phrase bread and.
Butter. It's effortless. System 1 is kind of the secret author of most of what you do every single day.
So it's the fast, intuitive, automatic part of us.
Mm-hmm. But then you have the other character.
System 2.
System 2. This is the one that takes effort. It's the conscious thinking part of you.
The one you use when you have to solve, I don't know, a math problem like 17 times 24.
Exactly. Or filling out a tax form. Anything that requires real, focused attention. And here's the catch, that attention is a very limited resource.
What do you mean limited?
Well, you can't just pay attention to everything at once. System 2 gets overwhelmed. I mean, think about that famous invisible gorilla experiment.
Oh, yeah, where you're counting basketball passes and you completely miss a guy in a gorilla suit walking through the middle of the screen.
Right. It's not because you can't see. It's because your System 2 is so busy counting that it literally becomes blind to anything else.
And probably the most important thing to know about the System 2 is that it is fundamentally lazy.
Oh, incredibly lazy. It follows what Kahneman calls the law of least effort. It will always try to do the absolute minimum amount of work possible.
Which is where we get into trouble.
This is where almost all our errors come from. Let me give you the classic puzzle. A bat and a ball cost $1.10.
Okay.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
10 cents.
And that's what almost everyone says. Your System 1 just screams it, it's intuitive, it feels right, and it's completely wrong.
I have to confess, this just confirms my own preference for intellectual sloth. My System 2 hears a problem like that and just goes, yeah, 10 cents sounds good, let's move on.
And you are not alone.
My System 1 is why I own 3 different types of vegetable spiralizers. It just saw them and went, yes, we need that, and my System 2 just let it happen. The correct answer, by the way, is 5 cents.
5 cents.
Yeah.
Because the bat would be $1.05. The total's $1.10. Ugh. That requires actual thinking.
And that's the point. Over 50% of students at places like Harvard and MIT get this wrong, not because they're not smart, but because their System 2 just endorsed the lazy answer from System 1.
So if our conscious, logical System 2 is that lazy, what is System 1 doing when no one's watching?
That's where it gets really fascinating. System 1 runs on what's called an associative machine. One idea sparks another, which sparks another, in this huge cascade that happens completely unconsciously. Okay, that sounds a little abstract.
Well, think about priming. In one study, researchers just subtly exposed people to words related to money. Sometimes it was just a screensaver with dollar bills floating on it.
Wait, so just seeing a picture of money without even consciously registering it could actually change how I behave?
Dramatically. The people primed with money became way more individualistic. They were more self-reliant, sure, but they were also much less willing to help someone. You know, like picking up pencils someone dropped.
Wow, all from a screensaver.
All from a screensaver. System 1 got the prompt, money means independence, and just changed the behavior. No memo was sent upstairs to the conscious self.
So the big takeaway here is that we're often complete strangers to ourselves. Our System 1 is running the show, generating biases and errors, and our lazy System 2 is just signing the check without reading the receipt.
Exactly. Which brings up a huge question. If our minds can be so easily swayed by things we don't even notice, how much do we actually understand about why we believe what we believe?
That's a scary thought.
And it's exactly where we're going next time. We're diving into the part of the book about overconfidence. We're going to explore why smart people believe lies.
You are not going to want to miss that one. Until then, we'd love to know what book you think we should deep dive into next. Let us know in the comments. Thanks for diving in with us.